preview.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alcob Cooperative Project ACP for the third conference between three economies, Indonesia, Korea, and Malaysia. I want to let you know that there are 4 schools participated in this conference. The first one is SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia, Seoul Technical High School, Korea, SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia, and SMKN 6 Palembang, Indonesia. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you that we are going to present 3 national anthems of the 3 economies, Indonesian, Korean, and Malaysia. So by presenting these 3 national anthems, that we are sure that you will respect all the national anthem. That's why while it is presented, so all of the audience in this room can stand up. Would you stand up, please? So the first one, we are going to present national anthem of Indonesia. Now we are going to come to the second national anthem of Korean national anthem. Everybody still stand up, okay? The last one is Malaysian national anthem. Now, please, we still give best respect and salute to the national anthem. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your nice participations in doing a kind of respect to the three national anthems. So please have a seat. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after hearing the three national anthems that I feel it was so wonderful. The three national anthems are very incredible. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce myself to you all. My name is Fitra Murni Agus Ramayulis, a teacher of SMAN3 Padang Panjang, one of the teacher in charge in this ACP conference. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you a little bit about this conference. It is our second conference hosted by SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. So we really thank to IACE and the Ministry of Korean Education for the nice, wonderful project, because the three economies can collaborate and can be in one conference today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you three of the teachers in charge on this program, my great friends. The first one, Mr. Yoon Bin Im, time is yours. Okay, Mr. Im, time is yours. Please introduce yourself. Please welcome Mr. Yoon Bin Im from Seoul Technical High School, Korea.
Hello, everybody, teachers and students from Indonesia and Malaysia. This is Hyun Bin Im, teacher in Seoul Technical High School. I am also one of the coordinator for this program. And this is now the third time for this online multilateral conference under the name of ACP. Even though the COVID-19 restrict our movement, our action, but I hope all the teachers and students in three countries, we can overcome COVID-19 and we can communicate each other and we can learn and teach each other. So this is the meaning of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Im, for your nice introduction. And the second one, let's invite the second great friend, Mr. Farid Fauzi from SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Time is yours. Please welcome Mr. Farid.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, good afternoon to all of you. Selamat siang. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to IACE for giving us opportunity for our third conference. So thank you to all my great friends, Mr. Im Hyun Bin, Ms. Fitra, and also Ms. Sri for making our conference today happen. And then due to our pandemic COVID-19, so just I want to share the situation in Malaysia. So now we have MCO, it is movement control order. So it means we cannot go anywhere and we just have a radius to go outside. So in this case, we have a bit of problem to run this program. But Alhamdulillah, we can solve the problems, and hopefully for today, our program will run well, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Farid Fauzi, for your wonderful introduction. And then we really realize that today is a very bad situation for three of us, I mean, three economies because of COVID-19. But I believe that even though COVID-19 happens, education must go on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the last, my great friend, but it is not the least. So I will introduce you to my great friend, Ms. Sri from SMKN 6 Palembang, Indonesia. Time is yours, Ms. Sri.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Fitra. Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Annyeonghaseyo, selamat siang. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rimul, and I am one of the alumni of Indonesia Korea Teacher Exchange Program. The first and the foremost, I would like to extend my high appreciations to the IACE, Alcob Cooperation Project, that you have given wonderful chance to my school so we can join in this great international event. And I also would like to extend my high deep thanks to Miss Fitra, Mr. Farid, Mr. Yun Bin In. So thank you so much for our great cooperation. And also I am so happy that today in this special event we have Ibu Ubay from the Ministry of Education, Republic of Indonesia, and also the head of Education's Department from Padang Panjang. So I hope that our vision in education can be continued, and then we can strengthen our friendship in education. So thank you so much. So I hope that we can continue our program in the next event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Ree, for your wonderful introduction. And then, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce you to our distinguished guests today. The first one is Miss Siti Ubaidah from the Ministry of Education and Culture of Republic of Indonesia. And the second one is Mr. Park and Miss Yu from the Senior Program Specialist of IACE Korea. And then Mr. Adib Al-Fikri from the Head of Education Department of West Sumatra. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's our teachers in charge introductions. We hope that our conference can run well and our cooperative and collaboration can be done for the next conference. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now for the first one, we are going to invite our distinguished guest. The first time is Mr. Park from IACE in Korea. Time is yours, Mr. Park.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, selamat siang, and terima kasih for having us here. My name is Myung-Sun Park, a senior program specialist from Institute of APEC, Collaborative Education. And Happy New Year to all participating teachers and school leaders and students. I would like to congratulate and I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to all of you, but to especially my sincere appreciation goes to four teachers who poured a lot of efforts to make this online conference happen. And this conference has a lot of significance in a sense that this is going to be a new and innovative modality and methodology for remote global education cooperation in response to outbreak of COVID-19 to attain education continuity in the APEC region. And as an Alcob specialist, and I would like to slightly and briefly mention about what Alcob is. And as you might be aware of, Alcob stands for APEC, Learning Community Builders. And the number of Alcob members reaches 6,000 from 21 APEC member economies. And as the headquarters of Alcob branch, we design and organize school-to-school exchange program, which is well known as Alcob Cooperative Project. Not only a school-to-school exchange program, we also design and implement a volunteer program and educational forum and joint research as well. And all the activity, the purpose of designing and implementing such events is to achieve shared prosperity by closing digital and knowledge gap within the APEC region. And I do wish the great success of the multilateral online conference. And last but not least, I would like to conclude my remark by introducing my new colleague, Ms. Jung-won Seo, and let me invite Jung-won.
Thanks. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Jung-won from IACE. I'm a new program specialist, and I'll look over Alcob AIV of this year. Thank you for inviting us, and I'm very glad to join this meaningful conference with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Park and Mrs. Sa, for your great appreciation. I believe that we cannot do anything without your support from IACE. So we hope that what we do today can be continued and can be imitated by other schools. Thank you, IACE and the Ministry of Korean Education for the great support and appreciation. Now we come to the next welcoming remarks. 감사합니다. Okay, we are going to invite the next distinguished guest from the Ministry of Indonesian Education and Culture, Miss Siti Ubaida. Please welcome to Miss Siti Ubaida. Time is yours.
Thank you, Miss Fitra. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Firstly, I would like to say my warmest regards to Ministry of Korean Education and Institute of APEC Collaboration Education, IECE, for the great Alcob Cooperative Project, or ACP. Then, I would like to express my best greeting to Mr. Park and Ms. Ush, the program specialist from IACE, and also Mr. Adib Al-Fikri, the head of Education Department of West Sumatra, four principals of the collaborative schools, teachers, and students, and also the viewers on YouTube streaming. I'm so happy to be a part of this wonderful conference. It is the third conference between four schools: School Technical High School Korea, SMAN3 Padang Panjang Indonesia, SMK Sungai Kertas Malaysia, and SMKN 6 Palembang Indonesia. I strongly believe that it is a very good collaboration that can bring students to have a good intercultural understanding and even lead them to be great global citizens, as the topic is going to be discussed. We from the Ministry of Indonesian Education and Culture, Republic of Indonesia, really appreciate and support this collaborative project that is very and insight, even though we all know that we face the pandemic. Therefore, we really hope that the collaborative project can be preserved. Finally, I would like to thank to Mr. Hun Bin Im as the team leader of this wonderful project that has cooperated with two Indonesian schools, SMAN3 Padang Panjang and SMKN 6 Palembang, Indonesia. It is a great honor for us to be a part of this project. I think that's all from me. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ibu Siti Ubaidah, Miss Siti Ubaidah, for your great support and appreciation to our conference today. It's also a great honor for us. You attend our conference. Then we hope that everything will run well. Thank you, Miss Siti Ubaidah. Next, let's invite the third distinguished guest from West Sumatra, Mr. Adib Al-Fikri, the head of Education Department of West Sumatra. Time is yours, sir. Please welcome Mr. Adib Al-Fikri. Okay, I want to let you know that because the head of education department is now with the governor of West Sumatra. Maybe he is now in the car, so he will give the welcoming remark in the car. Okay, Mr. Adib, time is yours. Please welcome the head of education department of West Sumatra, Mr. Adib Al-Fikri.
Hello, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Adib Al-Fikri, the head of West Sumatra Educational Office. I'm really glad to know about this program where the principals, teachers, and the students can share ideas dealing with many things, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. And I also want to say Happy New Year's. I think it has been late to yet to greet you all. Hopefully 2021 is better than before and full of happiness. Last year was the hard time for all of us because of the coronavirus pandemic. It has affected many sectors badly. Well, educational has been one of the most affected sectors by the COVID-19 pandemic. Schools are shut down. Students have lost the one-on-one learning experience over in the classroom. Many students' programs are postponed and many things else. However, due to the closures of schools, teachers and educators are push the design and establish online learning platform that could deliver the same quality of education as before. The integration of information technology in education will further accelerate, and that online education will eventually become an integral component of school education. Perhaps this experience will force schools to invest in an easily transferable digital platform for teaching learning process in the future. Right now, start in January 4th, based on the policy of Indonesian government, the school, especially in West Sumatra, are reopened. This is done by strict rules. So, partially closed or reopened schools should be guided by a risk-based approach to maximize the educational well-being and health benefit for students, teachers, staff, and the wider community, and help prevent a new outbreak of COVID-19 in community. Hopefully, coronavirus will disappear soon, and we come back to the normal condition. Then, I do appreciate what the school have done so far. We believe that the program done by SMA3 Padang Panjang, Seoul Technical High School, South Korea, and Sungai Kertas Technical High School, Malaysia, is one of the solutions in breaking the silence of this condition to keep the quality of education among the students. Hopefully, this program will continue and last for unlimited time. Last but not the least, for the students, I hope that you have to enrich and enlarge your abilities. Keep being motivated to improve yourself is not only in the field of science, but also in social, cultural, and economical environment. Don't let the coronavirus make you stuck, doing nothing and helpless. You must be strong, healthy, and happy. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Adib, for your wonderful, informative appreciation and support for the four schools, teachers, and students. And we hope that coronavirus can end soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is coming to our opening event by presenting Mr. Jae-kun Lee, the principal of Seoul Technical High School, Korea, to perform his wonderful performance by singing a song and playing his guitar. So we hope that all of the participants and also the viewers on YouTube streaming can enjoy it. Okay, Mr. Lee, time is yours. Please welcome Mr. Lee, the principal of Seoul Technical High School, for the wonderful opening event.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll try them. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get and friends just can't be found like coffee. I will lay me down like coffee. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Salon silver girl, Saron by, your time has come to shine all your dreams on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing life behind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Oh, thank you so much.
수고했습니다. 감사합니다.
Amazing, very wonderful, good song with a good singer. Very fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give our big applause to Mr. Jae-kun Lee from the four schools, okay? Wow. Okay, Mr. Im, I will cry while hearing your principal song. Wow, very touchable. Thank you.
Very fortunately, here in Korea, in Seoul Technical High School, we heard he is sing twice. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, very nice song with a good singer. Now we come to the next session. It is the welcoming speech delivered by four principals of the four schools. The first one, let's invite the principal of SMKN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia, Miss Devi Haryanti. Time is yours. Please welcome Miss Devi Haryanti.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, well, nice to meet you all again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Annyeonghaseyo. And this afternoon, I'd like to share my sincere greeting to all the participants, especially from the ACP, and then the four greatest partners from four schools, and then especially honor to the Indonesian Ministry, Indonesian Ministry Miss Siti Ubaida, and then from West Sumatra, Mr. Adib Al Fikri, the head of West Sumatra Education Department, and then for all the participants, the teachers, and the students that attend this conference. Well, I'm Devi Ranti, the principal of SMA3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia, and I'm really impressed with Mr. Lee. Listening to your song, really nice voice and really nice music. I'm really I can't believe that you have a good voice. Wow. Everybody, it's wonderful to see you again in this third virtual conference in this new year, 2020. Happy New Year. May God bless us and give us joyful and happiness in this year. I also want to say happy holidays to Mr. Lee's teacher and students in South Korea. Well, I'd like to tell you that started from January 4th, we have reopened school partially or fully, especially in West Sumatra. Hopefully it can run well and no additional cases of coronavirus, and we can fulfill the lateness of our teaching learning condition during the closure of school last year. And I'd like to express my enthusiastic about the great topic today that will be held by our students, that is traditional culture toward the young perspective. And I believe that it's going to be interesting since we are strongly aware that culture could unite the diversity. It has changed a lot compared to our era. As Mr. Lee sang just now, I think we come back to 60s, and then Today it's really completely different. The music, the fashion, games, food, and many things else. And I hope that we know that the world is fast, and there are nearly endless customs to explore. And actually, we cannot reject it. But one for sure, young people must know and love their own culture and heritage. So it needs to build the culture awareness among the young generation. Cultural awareness and tradition play important roles in helping young children develop a positive sense of identity and build self-esteem. The cultural appreciation and awareness contribute to building a positive self-image. Developing a strong foundation of belonging and acceptance through cultural celebration and education helps children to create a diverse social network while transitioning into adulthood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, young people can be a powerful force in precipitating change in this society. So let's share and empower yourself with a good understanding about our own culture. We may know modern culture, but don't leave our traditional culture behind or forget it. We must be proud of it and love it. Well, that's what I can tell you in this warm conference, and hopefully everything will run well. And then thank you very much for your watching. Kamsa Hamida. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Miss Devi Haryanti, for your interesting welcoming speech. And we hope that as a young generation, we have to love our traditional culture. Okay, thank you. Next, let's invite the second welcoming speech from the principal of SMKN 6 Palembang, Indonesia, Mr. Zulfikri. Mr. Zulfikri, time is yours. Please welcome Mr. Zulfikri.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable Ibu Ubay from the Ministry of Education Republic Indonesia, the Honorable the Head of Education Department Padang Panjang, the Honorable the Head of IACE Alcob Cooperation Projects, the Honorable, the principals, teachers from SMA3 Padang Panjang, SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia, and Seoul Technical High School, students and all the viewers from all over the world. First of all, I would like to extend my deep thanks to all the organizers for the wonderful chance that you have given to my school in this great international conference. I think the topic of traditional culture from the perspective of young generation is really interesting and engaging. It has become a wonderful moment for us to appreciate and promote our traditional culture. As Indonesia is a multicultural country, it has more than 3,500 local languages, 5 big islands, 17,000 small islands, and every small island has a different culture, customs, and tradition. And even though we are different, but we are one. A tradition does not separate us, it unites us. Ladies and gentlemen, historically, Palembang city was established by Sriwijaya Kingdom in the 7th century. This kingdom gives us a long history and heritage, for example, Tanggai dance, Gening Sriwijaya song, and songket clothes, and we are really thanks to the ancestor for this heritage richness. Ladies and gentlemen, tradition contribute a sense of comfort and belonging. It brings family together and enables people to reconnect with friends and another. A tradition gives us a chance to say thank you for the contribution that someone or ancestors have made. As a leader, a role model, parents, and young generation, it brings family together and enables people to reconnect with a friends and another. And also, as a leader, role model, parents, and young generation, we must strive and preserve our culture in order not to be extinct. Even though there are so many foreign cultures come to Indonesia, we must keep the cultural values in our life because culture is 100% our identity and our backbones. Ladies and gentlemen, once we ignore the meaning of our tradition, we are actually in danger of damaging the underpinning of our identity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of our welcoming speech. Preserve our traditional culture and we must be proud of it. Thank you very much. Hamida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ms. Zulfikri, for your wonderful welcoming speech and messages, because you remind all the young generations to preserve our traditional culture and not to let the traditional culture extinct. Okay, right? Thank you. Next, for the next welcoming speech is delivered by the principal of SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia, Miss Siti Ada Junaid. Time is yours. Please welcome to Miss Siti Ada Junaid. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Fitra.
Most welcome, Ibu.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, a very good afternoon. And hello again to the IACE officers, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Park just now, and Ms. Chia. And also to my dearest counterparts from Seoul Technical High School, the principal, Mr. Lee Jae-kun. Hi, Mr. Lee. Very beautiful performance and voice. Actually, I have listened to him singing a song when he was here visiting our. And I think you should be recording your voice and becoming a recording artist one day, I hope. Okay, and to my counterpart from Padang Panjang, Indonesia, Ibu Dewi Haryati, and also from SMKN 6 Palembang, Bapak Zulfikri, and the great teachers of Alcob, Ms. Fitra, Cik Farid here, and from SMKN, Ms. Ree, and of course, the great Mr. Im from SDHS. Okay, well done to the four of you for having this program, to realize this program again. And also my warm greetings to all teachers and personnel who involved in this video conferencing today. Last but not least, to all the coaches and students from the 4 schools who participate today. Assalamualaikum to our Muslim friends. Hello and annyeonghaseyo to everyone. I'm Madam Siti Aida Junaid from SMK Sungai Kertas, and first and foremost, I'm honored to be here again for the 3rd time. And I believe this virtual conference has kept us stronger, our bond stronger, and I feel that, you know, the distance makes the hearts grow fonder. That's what the saying normally goes, yeah? And still hopeful that once the pandemic restriction is over, I hope we will definitely be meeting in person, God willing, inshallah. I would like also to congratulate my counterpart from Padang Panjang for hosting today's program. Congratulations, Ms. Fitra. You look.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu.
I'm sure everything is in place, and let us all wish that this program today will be successful and run as planned. And my best wishes to all the participants of today's conference, and I'm sure all of you come from a very sturdy and strong generation and be able to talk and exchange ideas and experiences in this platform. And as we know that the topic today is about traditional culture from the perspective of the young generation. So I believe that they're going to be talking about this heritage that must be kept alive and treasured. Of course, not denying the importance of present digital culture, which I believe under proper and close supervision and monitoring helps not only to generate digital skills, but I think most importantly, and able to generate creativity and innovations, which ultimately could generate income as well. However, I hope that the discussion of young generation today on the theme of traditional culture could somehow lead to a more appreciative perceptions from our youth to be pursued. Well, even though in Malaysia now we have to implement again the MCO till 26th of January, and only public exam students are allowed to continue their study at school, and the rest are going to study online. But however, we are still hopeful that the pandemic is over, that everyone could come back to school. Well, I think that's about my short welcome speech. And I would like to again, my greetings again to my, and thanking again all the officers from the IACE, and of course from the MOE of the 3 countries. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And of course, my best wishes to everyone here. Happy belated New Year and all the best for today's event. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and kamsahamnida.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Miss Siti Aida Junaid. It is a very incredible welcoming speech, and then as you hope that pandemic will end soon, we do hope so, because students can come to school again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Miss Siti Aida Junaid. Okay, now let's invite the principal of Seoul Technical High School, Korea, Mr. Jae-kun Lee. Now, please welcome him. Time is yours, sir. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
예, 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. It's 2021 now. Teachers and students in Malaysia and Indonesia, Happy New Year, and wish you all the best in everything you want. I think we all had such a hard time in the face of the unprecedented crisis of COVID-19, but thanks to the wise handling, our education has turned crisis into opportunity, and we have gained the power to move into the future. Following 2 online international conferences last year, I'm very happy to have the 3rd online international conference today. Today is a precious time to talk about the traditional culture of each country from the perspective of the younger generation. Korean students are going to present about hanbok and kimchi. I'm looking forward to what traditional culture Malaysian and Indonesian students will introduce and present. Anyway, I hope that today's online international conference will be a meaningful venue for teachers and students to participate together. These days, a new strain of the virus appears and the spread of COVID-19 is very worrisome. I hope that the vaccine development will be carried out quickly so that the COVID-19 will end quickly and meet and exchange with each country with normal educational activities. Everyone, take care of your health and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Lee Kamsamida. Oh, very wonderful welcoming speech. Yeah, everyone here wants coronavirus and soon, so we can come to a better life and better education. Okay, what Mr. Jacqueline gave us a message that we are going to listen to the presentations of each school about the traditional culture. For example, Korea will tell about hanbok and kimchi. So it is a great opportunity for the four schools, for the four students to see ideas and experiences and perspectives related to our topic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will inform you that in this conference, there are 23 teachers participated in this wonderful conference, and there are 66 students participated in this conference. And other students, teachers from the four schools are watching our conference by YouTube streaming. That's the information from all us here. And then, okay, by ending the welcoming speech from the principal of Seoul Technical High School, Korea, it is a time for the students to share ideas, experiences, and also perspectives. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you that today is SMAN3 Padang Panjang to be the host of the conference. So it is our chance to be the first school that will present the presentations of the presenters today. So let me tell you, we have two presenters here. The first one is Miss Atika Putri, and the second one is Miss Alifa. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite the first speaker of SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia, Miss Atika. Time is yours.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Atika Putri, a student of SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. I'm very happy to be part of this very wonderful conference, so it's really nice to meet you all here. Now, I will tell you the meaning of traditional culture. Traditional culture is a priceless heritage of our ancestors and is an intellectual work to be protected. Here are some Indonesian cultures. Well, Indonesia has a lot of diversities, including the cultural diversity. The traditional culture that comes from a lot of parts of Indonesia is the root of Indonesian original culture. Traditional culture is the identity and personality of Indonesian that can be used economically for the advancement and prosperity of people. Well, Indonesia has thousands of islands that have more or less 300 tribes. Now, I want to focus on one tribe in Indonesia, namely Minangkabaunis. Minangkabaunis is a tribe from West Sumatra. It has a unique culture among other cultures in Indonesia. On the left picture, we can see the traditional house of Minangkabaunis. The name of traditional house is Rumah Gadang. In Rumah Gadang, there are 9 rooms and a special place outside called as rangkiang for storing rice after the harvest. Long ago, all the family members, like grandparents, parents, children, uncles, and aunts, lived there. But now, most Minangkabaunis people tend to build a modern house for her or his family, but only children and parents live in the house. Let's see the next picture. On the right, the traditional popular instrument is talempong. Talempong is used for dancing and it's played in group. Next picture is the engaging traditional dance is tari piring. Tari piring is very interesting dance because the dancers have to dance on the broken plates. Last, Rendang is the traditional food from West Sumatra. It's the most popular food around the world. It is made of beef and its taste is really delicious. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you traditional culture from young generation's perspective, especially in West Sumatra. Basically, everything has been changed a lot, as we can see from how the young generation love their own traditional cultures, like songs, foods, instruments, and others. They tend to imitate Western cultures and other Asian cultures, and they seem to neglect their own traditional culture. Here are some changes. On the left pictures, lamang tapay is very popular food from West Sumatra. But now, only a few young generations are familiar with the food. They tend to consume Western food such as hamburgers or sandwich than traditional food. And also on the right, we can see traditional dance from West Sumatra is tari piring. Tari piring is very unique and popular dance from West Sumatra. But Western dances are more interesting for most young generations. They tend to learn and love Western dances and other Asian dances much more. Let's see the next picture. On the left, traditional music and songs have been changed into Western songs. They prefer Western songs to traditional Minangkabaunese songs and music. Even clothes for girls, in Minangkabaunese culture, they are not allowed to wear jeans or trousers, but they have to wear baju kurung and also long skirt. But most young generation now would rather wear jeans, t-shirts, or shirts. Finally, the changes can also be seen from traditional events and games. On the left picture, we can see that most young generation like to see concert rather than traditional event like bull race. Bull race is an event from West Sumatra, Indonesia, for celebrating the harvest time. Unfortunately, it is almost forgotten. Moreover, they do not play any traditional games, but they tend to play modern games. So, everything has been changed much. They seem to live their own traditional culture. So, therefore, for the young generations, let's preserve our own traditional culture. It is our obligation to maintain our own traditional culture. We are still free to respect and appreciate other cultures, but one thing, never forget our own cultures. So, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your nice attention. Kamsahamnida, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Miss Atika Putri, for your wonderful presentations. It's really amazing. Okay, now let's invite the second presenters of SMAN3 Padang Panjang Indonesia, Miss Alifa. Miss Alifa, time is yours.
Well, good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it is a great chance for me to participate in this online conference. I'm very happy to see you all. First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Halifara Tomaisawiandri. I'm a student of SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. Today, I'm going to explain to you about the traditional culture from the young generation perspective. There are some changes happening today. The traditional culture is not the main point for the young generation. You can see it from my explanations. So, I will explain it to you all. There are 3 examples for the changes happening nowadays. I will explain it to you one by one. First is Pencaksilat. Pencaksilat is a traditional self-defense for boys in West Sumatra. Long ago, Pencaksilat was a famous and mandatory self-defense for boys in West Sumatra. All boys were not allowed to stay at home, but they had to stay at Surau, a special place for studying religion and self-defense. But now it has been changed. No boys are at Surau anymore, but they stay at their own houses or at their family house. They are uninterested in Pencastilat. Second is Randai. Randai is a traditional dance in West Sumatra. The dance tells a story and followed by music and song. There are some messages in Randai. The messages are from the old people for the young generations in facing life. But the Randai is an uninteresting thing for the young people. They look more interested in modern dances. They do not want to watch it or even they do not want to study it. The third is about the Minang traditional wedding. Now, the process of wedding is totally different. Before, the marriage depended on uncles from mother's side or parents' choices. All boys and girls had to marry with the one that had been chosen. They could not choose their own partner. Now, I'm going to tell you a real story about the marriage dependent on uncles is Siti Nurbaya. She had to marry with Datuk Maringgi, a rich old man who had 3 wives. But she already had a boyfriend, Shamsul Bahri. Their loves were not accepted by her parents and uncle. She finally died after a few weeks of her marriage, and the grave of her became the most popular place in Padang, West Sumatra. So, here is the proof of the proposed love in West Sumatra. To remember her failed love, thus, the government built a bridge called Siti Nurbaya Bridge. It is near her grave in Bukit Seberang Padang, West Sumatra. So, the traditional culture, marriage dependent on uncles and parents, are left by the young generations gradually. They do not want to marry with the one that she or he doesn't love. Now, the young generations in West Sumatra are free to choose their own partners. I think that's all that I can explain to you all. Thank you for your attention. Stay safe and healthy. Kamsahamnida, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much for your engaging presentation, Ms. Alifa. So I believe that our perspective from SMAN3 Padang Panjang can be understood by the 3 schools. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will inform you that we are going to open Q&A session. So we are going to invite 3 questioners from 3 schools. The first one is Miss Nuha from SMKN 6 Palembang. Time is yours.
Hi, my name is Nuha Nadira. I'm a 12th grader of Vocational High School 6 Palembang, Indonesia. You have a nice presentation, Miss Atika, and I have a question to you. As young generation, how do you promote Siti Nurbaya Bridge and how do you preserve Siti Nurbaya Bridge in order it always can be the icon of your city? Thank you. Terima kasih.
Wow, really amazing. Thank you for your nice question, Miss Nuha. Okay, it's time for you to answer her question, Miss Alifa. Okay, Miss Alifa, time is yours.
Well, thank you for your great question, Miss Nuha. Well, Siti Nurbaya Bridge is a historical bridge of love of West Sumatra. As a young generation of West Sumatra, it is my responsibility to preserve and promote Siti Nurbaya Bridge. Thus, I will do some things, such as writing an advertisement and send it to my friends out of West Sumatra, newspaper, magazine, or even make a video of Siti Nurbaya and send it to YouTube channel. Moreover, we can make it as a historical tourism destination so that it can be visited by local and international visitors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Alifa, for your wonderful answer. Okay, now we invite the second questioner from Seoul Technical High School, Korea, Mr. Hong. Time is yours.
Hi, my
The
name
question goes to Miss Atika.
Hi, my name is Yoon Seok Hong, first grade student from Seoul Technical High School. I have a question to Miss Atika Putri. Thank you for your nice presentation. You said that Indonesia's younger generation prefers Western modern culture, so the traditional Indonesian culture is gradually fading. My question is, what do Indonesian people do to preserve your own traditional culture?
Thank you, Ms. Hong, for your great question. Now, please, Ms. Atika, it's time for you to answer Mr. Hong's question. Time is yours.
Thank you very much for your great question, Mr. Hong. So, of course, it becomes our problem. So, Indonesian people and Indonesian government work together to solve the problem. Some ways done by the government are, for examples, like in my province in West Sumatra, the elementary school students from grade 3 to grade 6, they have to learn Minangkabaunis culture. And for junior and senior high school students, they have to learn about traditional dances and songs at school. Even we Indonesian people hold some traditional cultures competitions and promotion, such as once a year, there is an event done in a certain province of Indonesia to do the traditional dances competitions of 34 provinces of Indonesia by wearing our own traditional costumes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alifa, for your great answer. So next, let's invite the third question from SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia, Mr. Ahmad. Okay, Mr. Ahmad, time is yours.
Hello, my name is Ahmad Azami Amza from SMK Sungai Kertas. I have a question to you, Ms. Atika. My question is, in your opinion, how should we do to attract young people interested in traditional culture as some may have lost interest in tradition? That's all for me. Thank you.
Wow, really fantastic. Thank you for your brilliant question, Mr. Ahmad. So, Ms. Atika, it's time for you to answer Mr. Ahmad's question. Time is yours.
Thank you very much for your interesting question, Mr. Ahmad. In my opinion, we have to do some creative and innovative ways, such as we have to create challenging events, for examples like wearing our own traditional costumes, traditional dances and songs competitions. Even we can hold traditional food contests once a month. I strongly believe that it will work well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Atika, for your brilliant idea, for your brilliant answer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my distinguished ladies and gentlemen in this room and also the viewers on YouTube streaming, that's all the question answers from the 3 schools and SMA3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. So let's come to the next session. It is for SMK6 Palembang, Indonesia. So I will invite Miss Ri. Okay, Miss Ri, time is yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, because there is a unstable connection. Okay, thank you so much for the chance that you have given to my school. So from SMK number 6 Palembang, we have 2 presenters. The first presenter is Miss Nabila Fasi and the second presenter is Miss Putri Octaviani. So for the first presentation, let me invite the first presenter. So please welcome Miss Nabila Fasi. The time is yours.
Hi everyone, 안녕하십니까. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nabila Fasi, and I'm student of Vocational High School number 6 Palembang. I'm third grader, and my major is culinary. It's nice to see you. First, I want to say thank you for Alcob cooperation that give us opportunity to meet new friends from Korea, Malaysia, and also Padang Panjang in this international online conference. I'm here, I'm going to tell you about traditional culture from perspective of young generations focused on songket fabrics and tanggai dance from Palembang. So before I talk more about tanggai dance and songket Palembang, I'm gonna tell you about the icon of Palembang city. Palembang is one of the metropolitan city in Indonesia, which was founded on 16 June 683 AD, which made Palembang the oldest city in Indonesia. As an icon of the Palembang city, the Ampera Bridge is a gift that given by the first president of Indonesia, namely President Insinyur Soekarno, as access for the people of Palembang to more easily cross to the Ulu or Ilir area. Apart from the Ampera Bridge, pempek is a Palembang traditional food which also an icon of the Palembang city. Made from the basic ingredients from fish and sago and is like a fishball. And of course, Palembang also has a lot of cultural heritage, such as tanggai dance as a traditional dance and songket fabric as a traditional attire. Now let me talk deeply about tanggai traditional dance. Tanggai dance is one of traditional dance from Palembang, which is performed to welcome guests in formal events such as weddings and government events. Tanggai dance describe the hospitality and respect of the Palembang people for the presence of the guests. Performed by 5 dancers that wearing Palembang traditional clothes, namely songket clothes and equipped with accessories such as necklace, paksangkok crown, kembang goyang, and tanggai that shaped like nails. Because the tanggai that used by the dancer, it's make the dance called by tanggai dance. The tanggai dance have a slow and graceful movement. The flexibility of movement and the tapering of the dancer's fingers shows how sincere the host is to pay tribute to the guests. This dance is accompanied by a Palembang regional song entitled Enam Bersaudara, or in English, 6 siblings. So now let's move to the songket Palembang. As a Palembang traditional attire, songket is made by woven using gold and silver thread and has a high meaning, namely prosperity, glory, and bravery. So that's why the price can be very expensive for about 5 until 50 million rupiah. Palembang has various types of songket, such as songket lepus, songket limar, and etc. Usually, songket is used during formal events such as weddings and Palembang traditional dance performance. But over the time, songket was modified into semi-modern clothes that could be used for daily wear. So ladies and gentlemen, in this modern era, besides being modified into semi-modern clothes, songket is widely used as a combination of motif for bags, sandal, shoes, wallets, and fashion masks. So people still can be stylish and fashionable without ignoring the traditional value. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of my presentations, I hope we as young generation always promote our culture from one generation to the next generation, so we can continue to preserve our cultural heritage even though many foreign cultures come to Indonesia. Think globally, act locally. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you. Kamsahamnida. Terima kasih.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Nabila Fasi, for your wonderful presentation. Now, let me invite the second presenter. Please welcome Ms. Putri Octaviani. The time is yours.
First, let me introduce myself. My name is Putri Octaviani, and I'm third grader student at Vocational High School number 6 Palembang. And my major is culinary. It's nice to meet you all. Today, I'm so delighted to be one of presenter for Alcob Cooperation Project Part 3.
As you can see on the screen, the topic is traditional culture from the perspective of young generation focused on Palembang traditional wedding. First, I want to talk about glamorous traditional wedding. Well, the traditional wedding procession in Palembang are rich in a combination of various cultural, which are Malays and Javanese. Until now, getting married using a traditional procession is still carried out by Palembangese. However, over time, some of the sequences in the traditional marriage procession are modified to become easier without leaving the original culture. The Palembang traditional wedding is one of the symbols that reflects the majesty and glory of the Sriwijaya Kingdom dynasty centuries ago. Golden luster and a symbol of luxury can be seen from a procession of traditional ceremonies that have golden ornaments and use silk for the attire in engagement until the reception. The sparkling golden color is also the main point of the beauty from attire and accessories. There are some of unique things of Palembang traditional wedding. First, has 9 wedding ceremony sequences, which are madik, menyengguk, berasan, mutus ke kato, nganter ke belanjo, serah-serahan, akad nikah, and resepsi. Those are the terminology that we use in our local language. Second, the day of the ritual wedding ceremony and wedding reception are separated. It means the day of the marriage solemnization and the reception are made separately. Usually, the marriage solemnization will be held on Friday and the reception is on Sunday. Third, bad luck to see each other before wedding day. There is a tradition that the bride and groom were only allowed to meet at the wedding ceremony so that the groom didn't have the opportunity to change his mind. And the last, before the wedding ceremony day, the bride and groom do a sauna or steam bath first for healthy reason. Now, let me explain you those steps of traditional wedding procession in English. Step 1, Madik. Madik is a first family meeting between the groom and bride families. Step 2, engagement. Step 3, Berasan. Berasan is a process of requirement for religion marriage to decide the dowry. Step 4, Serah-serahan. Serah-serahan is give everything from the top to the toe, such as skincare, body care, clothes, etc. for the bride, and the necessities of a wedding. Step 5, akad nikah, or marriage solemnization. The purpose to be legal marriage in law and religion. And the last step is wedding reception. Now, let's talk about a detailed procession of akad nikah. You can look at the picture number 1. Is the process of ritual wedding marriage solemnization. The Palembang wedding ceremony was completed by feeding each other with love, or as we call with cacap-cacapan. This traditional ceremony is a being well-known signature in an akad nikah procession. You can look at the picture number 2 is the procession when the groom feeds the bride with yellow rice and the bride is also doing the same to the groom. And the picture number 3, a blessing symbol where the elders from both families feed them and poured flowery water over them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the beauty of traditional Palembang wedding gown. So, as you can see, on the left side is the authentic traditional attire fashion, but nowadays you can see the semi-modern traditional attire. The authentic traditional attire dominated by gold and red color. The crown and the stops are more complicated than semi-modern attire. The semi-modern traditional attire can be combined with Indonesian gown like kebaya, and then the gown's color is more variative. Palembang wedding also have a traditional dance. The traditional dance of tari pagar pengantin that is performed by the bride used as a symbol for a bride in the letting go of her single status. The traditional dance is performed in the front of the groom, where the bride dances on the top of rosebach, covered tray, or we call it dulang. This procession is also symbol that a married woman shall behave only inside of circle or the limited space rather than when she was single, because now everything must be considered with the permission of the husband. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, as a young generation like me, I am really proud of our traditional culture. Even though many other cultures come to Indonesia, I will always promote our beloved traditional culture. In order, our culture will not be extinct. I would like to finish the presentation with inspiring quote from Robert Allen. Cultural differences should not separate us from each other, but rather cultural diversity brings collective strength that can benefit all of humanity. Thank you and Calon Haruboneseo.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Putri Octaviani, for your wonderful presentation. So now, everybody, let me open Q&A session. Now, let me invite the questioner from Mr. Chang Yong Jong from Seoul Technical High School. The time is yours.
Hi, my name is Chan Young Jong, first grade student from Seoul Technical High School. I have question to Miss Yubela Fashi, SMKN 6 Palembang, Indonesia. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. My question is, what is the historical and cultural meaning of Ampere Bridge, the icon of Palembang?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chang Yong Jong from Seoul Technical High School for your good questions. So it's time for Miss Nabila Fasi to answer that question. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Chan Yong Jong from Seoul Technical High School. Thank you for your nice question. So, Ampere Bridge has means a lot to the people of Palembang because the bridge was given by the first president of Indonesia, President Insinyur Soekarno, as a gift, and it was put on 1962 using Japanese war reparation costs. Ampera Bridge is located in the center of Palembang City and was built to connect Ulu and Ilir area.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Nabila Fasi, for your wonderful answer. You are totally right that Palembang Ampera Bridge becomes the icon of Palembang City. Thank you so much, Miss Nabila Fasi. Now let me invite the second questioner, Mr. Hilmi from SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. To Mr. Hilmi, the time is yours.
Good evening and annyeonghaseyo. My name is
Annyeonghaseyo.
Azman. I am the questioner for SMKN 6 Palembang. My question is to Miss Putri. The question is Tanggai dance mandatory in every wedding in Palembang? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hilmi, for your wonderful question. So, Miss Putri, are you ready to answer Mr. Hilmi's question? Yes? Okay, so the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for nice question, Mr. Nur Muhammad Hilmi from SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Yes, Tanggai dance is a mandatory custom in Palembang wedding because Tanggai dance is a form of respect from the bride and groom to the invited guests. Therefore, Tanggai dance becomes a mandatory custom that is performed to welcome guests at the wedding. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Putri Oktaviani, for your nice answer. So, Mr. Hilmi, if you want to see Palembang traditional dance, please come to Palembang, okay?
All right.
Yeah, all right. Okay, now let me invite the next questioner from SMA number 3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia, Mr. Farel. To Mr. Farel, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Ri. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for your great presentation, Ms. Putri. Let me introduce myself. My name is Farel, a student of SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. I am in grade 10. Palembang's wedding ceremony is very interesting. I think it costs a lot of money because the wedding ceremony has 9 sequences. Can all Palembang's people do the wedding ceremony? How about the poor? Thank you.
Wow, your question is really amazing. Yeah, so you really want to know about. Thank you for your wonderful questions. So, Miss Putri, are you ready to answer that question? So the time is yours.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Farel from Senior High School number 3 Padang Panjang for a good question. So I will try to answer. Palembang traditional wedding can be done simply. It depends on the money given by the man. For example, the reception can be held in the simply hall room or bridal house. And usually we invite 1,000 people. To make it simple, we just invite 100 until 200 people. The most important is we keep the sacral value. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Putri Oktaviani. You are totally right that Palembangese wedding tradition can be done simply. Okay, so again, Mr. Farel, if you want to know about Palembangese marriage, so please visit us. Okay, we wait you in Palembang. Okay, so thank you so much for the Q&A session. Thank you so much for the chance that you have given to my school. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much for SMKN6 Palembang, Indonesia. Thank you, Ms. Ri, and also the questioners and presenters. Now let's invite SMKN6 Palembang performance. Okay, Ms. Ri, would you please turn your friend's performance on? Okay.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to show our video clip of performance from one of best teacher from Vocational High School number 6 Palembang. Her name is Fitri Indah, so she teaches mathematics. So please enjoy the video. So I hope everybody like it. that is our video clip. So I hope everybody like it. Thank you so much.
Wow, really wonderful. Thank you for the singer from mathematics teacher of SMKN6 Palembang, Indonesia. Very incredible. Thank you, Miss Ree. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big applause for the teacher from SMKN6 Palembang. Thank you. Now, let's invite the next presenters from SMKN Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Okay, I will invite Mr. Farid to handle the presentations and question answers. Okay, Mr. Farid, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Fitra. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to all participants, to all teachers for our third conference. Thank you very much. Not like previous conference, as you know, before we have 4 beautiful girls for our presenters, but for our third conference, so SMK Sungai Kertas will present the 2 handsome boys as our presenters. Okay, so for the first presenter, I would like to invite Mr. Al-Fatih to present his presentation. Al-Fatih, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum and good morning, teachers and fellow students. Hi, my name is Nimama Al-Fatih bin Shahriman, or you can call me Fatih, and I'm 17 years old. I'm a Form 5 student at Sungai Kertas National Secondary School, Selangor, on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur City, Malaysia. In this speech, I will talk about traditional culture from young generation perspective, focus on traditional Malay game, that is Congkak. Before I start my presentation, I'm very honored to be chosen as one of speaker for today's conference, the SCP International Online Conference 2020. As one of speaker of today's conference, the SCP International Online Conference 2020, representing my beloved country, Malaysia. Thank you to IACE for this opportunity. So now, let's begin with a video of how to play Congkak. Let's watch together. The game is believed to have originated from the Middle East, where it was known as Mankala in Arabia. There are thus unique Malay terms for the rules of the game. The game is known throughout the world and has up to 250 names, with some taking on the name of the board or the playing pieces. There are various explanations of the name Chongka. Early sources suggest that the name refers to the Chinese Jiang, as evidenced by the design of many traditional Chongka boards that are boat-shaped. Other explanations indicate that the word Chongka was believed originated from the Old Malay Chonga, give meaning as mental calculation that was practiced in this game. The game requires a wooden block, which was originally hand-carved. Chongka boards were generally made of mahogany or teak, and sometimes carved with elaborate decoration and images. The board is often boat-shaped and commonly use 16-hole Chongka board. 14 holes are designed as houses in the village, while the last two larger holes serve as storehouses located on either end of the block. In the past, nut-like seeds known as buah gorek in Java and buah kelichi in Malacca were commonly used in this game, although any other handy alternatives such as marbles, rubber seeds, and saga seeds are used in more modern times. Before the game starts, the houses are filled with 7 Chongka seeds each, while the storehouses are left empty. 2 players sitting on opposite ends. Each player owns the row of houses directly in front of him and the storehouse in his left. Both players begin simultaneously by scooping up all the shells in any house on their side. Each drops a shell into the next house and continue clockwise, depositing on one shell into every house thereafter. A player drops a shell into his storehouse each time he passes it, but does not deposit any into his opponent's storehouse. If the shell drops into a house on either side of the boards containing shells, the player scoops up all the shells in that house and continues distributing them in the houses around the board. If the shell drops into the player's own storehouse, the player scoops up the shells from any of his houses and distributes them as forfeit as described above. If the shell drops into an empty house belonging to the opponent, the player forfeits his turn and leaves the shell in the opponent's house. If the shell drops into the player's house, which is without shells, the player is entitled to collect the shells in his opponent's house and deposit it in his own storehouse. The first round ends when a player has no more shells on his side. Game resumed in the second round, with players redistributing shells from their own storehouse to their own houses. If a player does not have sufficient shells to fill his own houses, the remaining houses are left empty and are considered burned. The leftover shells are deposited into his own storehouse. Game is continued as before, but player will bypass the burned houses. For instance, no shells are to be dropped into these houses. If a shell is accidentally dropped into a burned house, it is confiscated and stored in opponent's storehouse. Game continues until one player loses all his houses or concedes defeat. The objective of playing Chongka is to get rid all the seeds by moving them across over your enemy, while placing each of your seeds or marble into your own house or pit. The game ends when the winner, either the one with the most seeds in his house, in his or her house, or the first to empty his row of holes. To conclude, people nowadays are busy with their own life by spending much time on their gadget like tablet, iPad, and laptop, including the children. They are either doing their job or playing games because of habit on the gadgets and forgot the traditional games. It is agreed to say that children today prefer to play computer games than traditional games. Traditional games such as Chongka are priceless heritage of Malaysia. It symbolizes the custom, culture, and identity of our nation. It needs to be preserved from one generation to the next generation. If traditional games are not maintained, future generations will not recognize their own cultural heritage. Therefore, the younger generation is responsible for maintaining and preserving this treasure, and this can be accomplished through education. Before I end this presentation, I would like to thank my teachers for giving me this amazing opportunity to share my view with my fellow friends from other countries. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you guys again. That's all from me. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a great presentation, Nik Al-Fatih. Okay, so I would like to invite our next presenter. So, Ahlam, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Annyeonghaseyo dan hi to all of you. My name is Ahlam Lutfi Rahman, a Form 5 student from SMK Sungai Kertas. Before I start anything, let me show my gratitude by saying thank you for the organizer for inviting me to be the presenter of this amazing program. Okay, what I would like to talk about is the traditional poem originated from Malay archipelago, which is called Pantun. Pantun is a Malaysian poem which is used to convey one's thought and emotion. But unlike poem, it has a very solid structure. Okay, so I assume that everyone of you know what a poem is, right? Basically, a writer will write anything from their mind to a paper in some bombastic and flowery way. But pantun is more simple, but it is more about the structure of the thought. Okay, so pantun, the structure I'm talking about is there is two lines, which is called hin. Hold on. Okay, so pantun, the structure of pantun. Let me see. Yeah, this one. Okay, pantun, like you can see here, has a basic structure consisting of one line and then the next. The first line is called the hin, and the next line is the meaning. As you can see here, the first line and the first line of the hin should rhyme with the second line of the meaning. This rhyming way of speech originated far from 500 years ago. From Malay archipelago. It started as a way of communicating and conveying thought to one another. Basically, like a conversation, but it has a structure and in a rhyming way, basically. Okay, so this act of conversing with pantun is called buying and selling pantun. Selling pantun is started when someone initiate a pantun conversation by saying their pantun out loud to someone else, and then that someone else will buy that pantun by replying with another pantun. So yes, that's the economy of pantun basically. Other than that, pantun is also used as ways of conveying one's thought and emotion. It is basically like a writer have an idea, and then they will usually write that idea bluntly into a piece of paper. Like let's say some philosopher from like a philosopher basically. But a philosopher usually will write their idea just like that. But a pantun philosopher will describe their idea in such pantun manner that will make their idea last longer than some idea that just written on a piece of paper. Basically, let me give you an example. Siakap senohong gelama ikan duri, bercakap bohong, lama-lama mencuri. So basically, that pantun means the first hin, the first line is called hin. Siakap senohong gelama ikan duri. It is some fish name. And then the second line, bercakap bohong, lama-lama mencuri, means first we lie, and then when we grow up later, we will end up becoming a stealer. That is the philosophy of this pantun. So, okay, next point. Back then, when pantun was commonly used, the Malays have different value than the Malays today. They hold tight the spirit of collectivism and community. So the way they speak shows that. Also, back then when they use pantun to talk, Malay are more shy and subtle in the way they speak. So when they talk with pantun, they can layer their word with another word. So only people who actually listening to them can understand what they are saying. Let me give you an example. Burung nuri, burung helang, tak dapat terbang sama tinggi. Tuan puteri berangkat pulang, bila akan dapat berjumpa lagi. So that pantun is basically a way of saying goodbye to someone. Like having someone that are going to go far away and probably won't meet you again for a long time. Let me explain the meaning. Burung nuri, burung helang, tak dapat terbang sama tinggi is the hint that saying the eagle and the crow can never fly together. And then the meaning. Tuan puteri berangkat pulang bila akan dapat berjumpa lagi. Means that now that you want to go, when will we meet again? But then we are referring to this one as puteri. It is kind of flattering in a way, like flirting. Okay, so this kind of usage of pantun show how much Malay is to be indirect in the way of their speaking. And because the Eastern people are usually shy by nature, so they talk like this. So maybe they can like not very feel pressured to say anything that they want to say, but they are kind of shy to say it. Nowadays, pantun is seen as a tradition that is only recited during an event or competition rather than the means of socializing that it once was. The influence of foreign culture changed the way we talk with each other, and we communicate now in much more direct and bold manner. This can be a reflection on how loose our connection has become to one another compared to back then. Time change, and so does people, values, art, and word. Back then, we hold the spirit of community tightly. Back then, we appreciate the art of pantun, which in a sense only work with another person. You couldn't do this pantun art alone. Back then, we use pantun to layer our word. Now, we talk more bluntly. Now, we appreciate the art of expressing oneself, such as song and story, that only involve the artist and the piece, not unlike pantun that involve both people at the same time. And now, we talk more bluntly and more clear in what we are saying, probably because of the influence from the Western culture that we change like that. I am not saying that we should go back to the ancient time and talk like our ancestors, but we can reflect upon them and the value that we once has and now has gone. Okay, so now let me share the video of pantun.
Kencang ikut barat, perahu kecil berlabuh ke selat. Patah pancang tinggal sekat jadi tunggul mengusahakan juga. Dia kata saya.
Dari mana punai melayang? Terbang tinggi disambar helang. Apa guna berkasih sayang kalau mati terboleh seorang?
Kalau Tuhan baik berani jangan campur budak-budak. Bunga kasih dan bunganya wangi. Layu dan kering kusunting juga.
Bagi pemburu di ujung tanjung dapat seekor landak betina. Panjang dipotong, pendek disambung. Itulah dia adat dunia.
As you can see from the short video, we can see how all races and culture come together, united under this one form of conveying one thought, which is called pantun. It shows how close we are back then when we started to know each other, and we can see that the route that we came from are same, and we shouldn't be divided like we are today. Okay, that is all from me. Ahlam Lutfi Rahman from Sutas SMK. Thank you very much. Kamsa Hamida. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much for Ahlam because for a great presentation. So actually, for your information, Ahlam is a person that doesn't really speak much in school, and he is very quiet boy. So today I'm very proud that he becomes a presenter, mostly one I'm prompt to. Okay, thank you very much.
Wow, good job.
Okay, so we will go to our next session for Q&A session. So for the first question, I would like to invite Miss Vanessa from SMAN3 Padang Panjang. So Miss Vanessa, time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Farid. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your engaging presentation, Mr. Ahlam. Well, my name is Vanessa, a student of SMKN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. I'm in grade 11. It's very interesting. My question is, how do the young generation of Malaysia and government do to preserve the art of pantun? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Vanessa, for a great question, very good question. So Mr. Ahlam, so time is yours.
Thank you for the question. I was hoping you would ask that. So the question is, how do we, young generation, and the government can do to preserve the culture that is pantun? Okay, so to preserve in this sense means to keep the pantun spirit alive. However, to do that, we need to spread the word of pantun to much more wider audience. And to do that, I think we, the government or the NGO, can and should organize an event to showcase the tradition, the tradition that we once have. For example, a cultural festival. Maybe you can do that at your school, maybe at local town, and then at that the event, you should maybe can put like a pantun tournament or pantun show, and then people who see that and come to that show will maybe understand and appreciate the art of pantun more. For the young generation, we whenever there's a cultural festival, like I just said, definitely should go and present themselves to that event, because if it's not for the event is for us. So if we doesn't go to the event, what is the point, right? So that's the answer. That's my answer for that question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ahlam and Vanessa. So next, I will invite Miss Alia from SMKN 6 Palembang. So Miss Alia, time is yours.
Okay. Hello, my name is Alia Chindika. I'm from Vocational High School number 6 Palembang. Thank you to Mr. Fatih. You deliver your presentation so well. I really like it. So I have a question for you. If the congkak board is not made by mahogany or teak tree, is the traditional value will disappear? If it is yes, please give me the explanation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Alia, for a good question. Okay, so you said you're very like Fatih presentation, like right? So I hope you also like Fatih. I'm sorry, you like his presentation. Just jokes. Okay. So Fatih, please answer the beautiful girl's question. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Alia, for the question. In ancient times, the congkak board was made from a mahogany or teak tree because the earth is rich in forest product. So my point is, although congkak is made of plastic, the traditional value will not disappear because traditional value are not measured by the material itself, but are measured by the person who plays the game. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Al-Fatih and Alia. Okay, so next, I will invite Mr. Chung from Seoul Technical High School. So, Mr. Chung, the time is yours.
Okay. My name is Chong Nat Chung. Okay. Hi, my name is Jiwon Jung, a first grade student from Seoul Technical High School. I have a question to Mr. Nick Muhammad Alpate, SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. I think the Chongka game looks very fun, but due to the corona virus pandemic, it is dangerous to get together with friends in one place. Can you play this game safety during in COVID-19 pandemic? If can, how?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chung. Yeah,
Chong.
Very much. Mr. Chung, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Al-Fatih, could you please answer the question? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jiwon Chung, for the question, and also thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. As I explained, Chongka is only played by 2 players, and there is no physical contact while playing Chongka. You can also apply social distancing so you can play Chongka safely with your family and friends during this pandemic. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you very much to all SMK Sungai Kertas presenters and to all questioners from Palembang, from Padang Panjang, and from Seoul Technical High School. Okay, that's all from SMK Sungai Kertas. Back to you, Ms. Fitra. Thank you very much.
Okay, very wonderful. SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Thank you very much. Now let's invite the next presenters from Seoul Technical High School, Korea. Okay, please welcome Mr. Hoon Bin Im. Time is yours.
Hello, everybody. Now is our turn as the last presenter for today's conference. We have 2 gentlemen to present today, Mr. Hwang and Mr. Kim. So let me introduce the first presenter, Mr. Hwang. Mr. Inu Hwang, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, now time is yours.
Hello, this is Inu Hwang, second grade student for Seoul Technical High School, Korea. I would like to talk about the traditional culture from perspective of young generation, especially focused on hanbok, the Korean traditional clothes. My present is composed with introduction of hanbok as Korean traditional clothes. Then I will show you how media treat with hanbok, and finally I want to present hanbok of option with everyday life in Korea. Hanbok is traditional 2-piece clothing worn in Korea for formal or semi-formal occasions and events such as festival celebration and ceremonies. Hanbok has the same history with Korea, about 5,000 years. The basic format of Korea hanbok has more or less remained the same, while its form or type has been changed with culture, situation, and the ethnic constellation of the times. The type of hanbok we are familiar with is composed of related tie, top and loose bottom or skirt date back on the mid and the late Joseon dynasty since 14th century. Recently, famous idols have worn the hanbok and released several new songs. Here is some photo of BTS, who made a music video wearing hanbok. The popularity of the K-pop was the main reason for the hanbok craze. BTS and the Blackpink have caught the attention of fans around the world by wearing hanbok in their new music videos. Also, many foreigners who watched the drama Kingdom aired Netflix overseas were fascinated by the heart of Joseon people named God. The modern hanbok has incorporated traditional design in their upscale modern clothes. Modern hanbok has been featured with more cultural style and comfortable design. It has also been worn by international celebrities such as Britney Spears and Jessica Alba, and athletes such as tennis player Venus Williams and football player Heinz Ward. The South Korea government has supported the return of interest in hanbok by sponsoring fashion designer domestically. Hanbok has become the trendy in street fashion. Nowadays, lots of people are wearing hanbok and taking pictures. Young people in their mid-20s and 30s picture active buying hobbies, lecture activities, and customer goods they wanted. They have no qualm about embracing in the new culture, and they are very good at changing their minds by recognizing it as a traditional game and linking it back to the business. In the past, it is rare to wear hanbok on holiday, but they are enjoying the traditional of hanbok and replacing with plays such as playing at the old places and visiting Hanok village for hanbok celebration shot. Walking around the encountering people wearing hanbok has become nothing more surprising. Recently, the government attempted the population hanbok. Thanks to the popularity of hanbok, 22 middle and high school were selected to introduce hanbok type school uniform. Considering that the students have to wear uniform for a long time, the hanbok was made using fun fabric that is easy to manage and absorb sweat and by introducing hanbok, the unique Korean clothes, I wanted friends in Indonesia and Malaysia to be interested in Korean culture and share traditional culture for better understanding each other. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Inu Huang, for your nice presentation about hanbok. And now we have a second presenter, Jin Young Kim. Jin Young Kim will introduce the Korean traditional food kimchi. Okay, Mr. Kim, time is yours.
Hi, this is Jin Young Kim, second grade student from Seoul Technical High School. It is my great pleasure to introduce Korean traditional food kimchi. Content of my presentation has three parts. At first, I will look after kimchi in Korean history. Then I will explain the kinds and nutrition of kimchi as a traditional side dish. Finally, I will show you how kimchi has been adapted in our lives in contemporary times. Kimchi, a staple in Korean cuisine, is a traditional side dish of salted and fermented vegetables, such as napa cabbage and Korean radish, made with a widely varying selection of seasoning, including chili powder, spring onions, garlic, ginger, and salted seafood extra. The origin of kimchi dates back at least to the early period of the Three Kingdoms, which is almost 2,000 years ago. History of Korea, there is mentions that the people jar used to ferment the vegetables, which indicates that fermented vegetables were commonly eaten during this time. Traditionally, kimchi was stored in ground in large earthenware to prevent the kimchi from being frozen during the winter months. It was the primary way of storing vegetables throughout the seasons. In the summer, the in-ground storage kept the kimchi cool enough to slow down the fermentation process. In contemporary times, kimchi refrigerators are more commonly used to store kimchi. Kimchi is one of the most important dishes in Korean cuisine. Kimchi is Korean terminology for fermented vegetables and encompasses salt and seasoned vegetables. Kimchi can be
얘가 질문하고 얘가 대답하고
main
얘가 질문하고
ingredients,
또 대답하고
regions,
질문하고
or
대답하고.
seasons. There are over 180 recognized varieties of kimchi. The most common kimchi variation are shown as image: napa cabbage kimchi, radish kimchi, green onion kimchi, and cucumber kimchi. Conventionally, the secret of kimchi preparation was passed down by mothers to their daughters in a bid to make them stable wives to their husbands. However, with the current technological advancement and increase in social media use, many individuals worldwide can now access the recipe for kimchi preparation. The picture shows a brief process of how to make kimchi. First, divide the cabbage and marinate it in salt water, and drain the pickled cabbage after marching several times. Lastly, make a sauce with garlic, ginger, red pepper powder extra, and put it in cabbage. It is highly nutritious and offers deeply flavored and spicy meals flavor to many classes of people, and illustrates the Korean culture as well. Kimchi is very healthy because it is fermented food. Kimchi has been proven to have various physiological effects, rich in a wide variety of vitamins and using vegetables with little calories to help with weight control. It has also been helpful in preventing other adult diseases. That's why I like it very much. In the meantime, some Koreans don't like kimchi because there are spicy ingredients such as red pepper and garlic in the seasoning of kimchi, and the process of making it is difficult. These days, people tend to eat factory-produced products rather than making kimchi at home. Of course, it is good to make and eat kimchi by yourself, but I think factory products, considering various kinds and different tastes, are also a good way. I think it would be nice for everyone in the world to try kimchi that is good for this body and tastes good. And in a situation where the corona is spreading, it would be better to eat kimchi to develop immunity. Also, kimchi is a side dish, so I think it's good to eat in combination with many main dishes. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Kim and Mr. Huang, for your nice presentation. And for the students and the teachers in Indonesia and Malaysia, I hope you get some more acknowledgement about the Korean culture, especially focused on kimchi and the hanbok. Now I would like to open the Q&A session. So at the first, I would like to invite the first questioner from SMK Sungai Kertas, Mr. Azriel. Are you ready for the question, please?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right. My name is Muhammad Azri Hidayat, and I'm from SMK Sungai Kertas. What a wonderful presentation, Mr. Huang. I have one question, and my question is, from what I know, hanbok is made of very beautiful fabric. May I know what kind of fabric hanbok is made of? That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. RH, for your interesting question. Traditional hanbok was made of silk for the upper level people, and general people made hanbok with cotton. Nowadays, most of hanbok is made of chemical fabric for the convenience of washing and cheap price. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your nice question and the answer. For the next questioner, I would like to invite Ms. Lirin from SMAN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Annyeonghaseyo. Thank you for your nice presentation, Mr. Kim. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ririn, a student of SMKN3 Padang Panjang, Indonesia. I'm in grade 11. I strongly believe kimchi is very popular Korean food all over the world. How do Korean people and young generation do to make kimchi exist? Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Mrs. Lirin, for your wonderful question. It is true that younger generations prefer to buy kimchi at supermarket rather than to make kimchi by themselves. Because of long and complicated process of making kimchi, older generation are worried about no one in Korean can be kimchi several decades later.
Okay, thank you for your nice question and answer. Now, for the last questioner, I would like to invite Ms. Adinda from SMKN 6 Palembang, Indonesia. Ms. Adinda, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adinda. I'm from Vocational High School number 6, Palembang, Indonesia. Hello, Mr. Kim. Your presentation is very amazing. I have a question to you. The question is, how do you introduce and promote kimchi to foreigners from another country? Thank you. 감사합니다.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Adinda, for your nice question. According to the increase of the foreigners who are fascinated with kimchi, Korean government and communities try to provide more information about the nutrition of kimchi and process of making kimchi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question and the answers for Indonesia and Malaysia and Korea. So this is our presentation and the Q&A session. So now I would like to come back to Ms. Pitra, Indonesia. Can you please?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Im. So it remind me our experience in Korea. So wearing hanbok is very impressive for us. And then how delicious kimchi was, wow, amazing. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, after Seoul Technical High School Korea presentations, now we come to our closing event. That's a performance by SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Okay, Mr. Farid, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Fitra. So for our closing event, so we will present to you the traditional culture from Suta's young generation, as in our students. Okay, so they will play the traditional instrument, music instrument, we call it Cak Lempong. Okay, the player is our, if you know, Pencak Silat students. So let's enjoy. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Farid. Give an applause for SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. So it seems to me that the three performances today are very wonderful. So we'd like to thank to Mr. Jae-kun Lee for your nice performance, and the teacher from SMK N6 Palembang, and also for SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. So we are really proud of you all. Give a big applause for the three performances. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished principals, audiences, and also the viewers in YouTube streaming. So that's all for our conference today. So do you have any idea, Mr. Im? Okay, so I think before closing our conference, I'd like to take a family photo. Okay, so maybe my school will organize it. Please, everyone, please turn on your camera because we are going to have family photos. All right.
컴퓨터 뒤에 서자. 자, 이리 나오세요. 다 오세요. 자, 전부 이쪽으로 와라. 여기서 지금 다 같이 사진. 여기서 다 사진 찍는 거야. 다 나오지. 다 나오죠. 자, 이렇게 머리만 뒤로.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will remind you again because it is our last session. So that's why I want you all to be in our room, and then please turn on your camera. It is our family photo session. Okay, we are preparing for it for our family photos. Just a minute.
Okay, Seoul Technical High School, all the teachers and students are now get together for the family photo. Thank you.
Perfect, Mr. Im. What about Sutas? Are you all here? And what about SMKN6? Okay.
Yes, we are ready, Mr.
Yeah, we are ready.
Okay. Okay, let me ask my technician first.
Small heart.
쌤이 찍어서.
She has taken one photo and another photo. Please give your best smile. Give your best smile. Everyone. Give your best smile. We are all happy.
이건 같이 눌러야 돼. 잠깐만요. 제가 할게요. 요거하고 이거는 같이 눌러요.
네, 됐어요.
됐어.
자, 된 거야? 자, 음소거된 것 같아.
아니야, 음소거 안 됐는데.
됐어, 지금 안 들리잖아.
음소거 안 됐잖아.
근데 왜 안 돼요?
괜찮아.
네, 자, 빠.
Hello, keep your smile because we are going to have another family photo. Are you ready? Siap nih? Okay, for the next photo, give your best smile. We are all family.
마스크 써서 스마일이 안 보여.
And then for the third one, just a minute, because according to my technician, we are going to have 4 family photos. So we have taken 2 of them. And okay, everyone, for the next one. Hello, according to my technician, someone is not turning on the camera. Please turn on your camera because it is our family photo session. Okay, everybody, would you please turn on your camera because we can remember all our memorable moments.
양반들한테 사진 찍는 게 없는데.
그러니까 생명이야, 생명.
쌤.
Okay, give your best smile. Thank you. And last one. Just a minute.
네, 맞아요. 자, 라스트 원 우리 엄지척 해주자.
안 들린다.
I'm sorry to
Okay.
tell you that we have to wait because we are going to take our family photos for 4 times. So we have now taken 3 families photos and 1 left. Would you please be patient? Ready?
엄지 들어요?
잠깐만.
창훈이 아니야?
Yeah.
Ada
Okay, the last photo.
The last photo.
라스트.
Modena.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Im. Thank you, Seoul Technical High School. Thank you, SMA Negeri 3 Padang Panjang, SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia. Thank you. See you in the next conference.
Maybe before closing, we are going to give you a kind of sentences from Mr. Yun Bin Im. Okay. So before closing it.
Thank you, everybody. You did a great job, Miss Pitra, Miss Ri, and Mr. Farid. So,
See you again.
yeah,
See
for our
you in the
Stay
next
healthy and
conference.
safe.
later.
See
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We miss you all. Yeah. Thank you, Ibu.
Okay, also for Alpha, Firdaus, who else? Bye-bye, Shamin.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Take care and good.
Okay.
Keep in touch with
Bye-bye.
you.
Okay. Bye. See you again.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as a moderator, I'd like to express my deeply thanks to the 4 principals from SMK Sungai Kertas, Malaysia, Seoul Technical High School, Korea, SMKN 6 Palembang, and SMAN 3 Padang Panjang. And also the teachers participated in this great conference. All our beloved students. Thank you. We hope that we can meet on the next conference. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone.